is buried under the Church of Holy Wisdom in Istanbul, Turkey, Hagia Sophia. You can't imagine what a Turkish professor reveals. Now, I've been to Istanbul, the old Constantinople, 3 times. It's about an hour's flight north of Athens. And these are the murals, the frescoes that had been covered by Muhammad, the 18-year-old who conquered Istanbul, Constantinople, in 1453. His mother was Christian, and she begged him to cover the icons, the frescoes, with plaster. And you can still see some plaster here on the bottom. But when they took off the plaster recently, and this is another dome above the Holy of Holies, with the Virgin Mother holding the baby Jesus about 3 years old. And these murals look as if they were done yesterday. What's shining there around her is golden tiles of gold. So they're like, it's as if they're very well kept, as if they were done yesterday. Now look at these things. You see those stone coverings of the walls there, okay? Now, the first time we went with a group of people for a wedding, we went and we saw that there were violet-colored or burgundy-colored crosses, as if they were coming out from behind the stone towards the surface of the stone. Okay, not equal distance on each side, but they were like the small T. And we asked one of the guards there who drew these crosses on the plaques, and he said, we never touched these things. We don't know. We can't explain it ourselves, and we don't know why those crosses are appearing on those plaques on the walls. Now, it could be that they had at one point other icons there. We don't know. But we thought that it was very strange going-ons there. Of course, it's only the Greeks and Cypriots that can understand that the Greeks have been exiled from there, because everything written in Hagia Sophia is in Greek. Okay? So let's see what the Turkish professor said concerning this Church of Holy Wisdom. This was constructed about 600 AD. Now, no matter how many years pass, the Church of Holy Wisdom, Hagia Sophia, continues to surprise. This time, the statements are from a Turkish professor of philosophy at the University of Istanbul. His name is Ferhat Aslan, and they come to change everything we know. As stated by the newspaper Espresso, which cites the statements of Mr. Aslan in the Turkish newspaper Sabah, under the historical temple of the Church of Holy Wisdom, huge amounts of gold and silver are buried, and they were placed there by the Byzantines. Now, the professor of philosophy at the University of Istanbul, who spoke to the newspaper about his new book, claims that the columns inside the Hagia Sophia Church, the Church of Holy Wisdom, have been made of a rare material brought from a mountain with the Turkish name Kafdagi, a mythical mountain. For the Turks, it's likened to the Caucasus, and which, according to Turkish tradition, surrounds the whole world, and very characteristic symbolism for the Church of Holy Wisdom, Hagia Sophia. Also, Professor Aslan, who has worked for many years on the research around the Church of Holy Wisdom, Hagia Sophia, claims that its foundations rest at a depth of 70 meters. So the foundations are over 210 feet deep from the surface of the ground, and that at the beginning of the foundations of this historic temple, large amounts of gold have been buried, and as well as silver. The reasons why the Byzantines built on gold and silver foundations and then placed the foundations on that of this magnificent temple, according to the Turkish professor, is none other than to protect the protection of the temple from any destruction. In addition, Professor Aslan claims that under Hagia Sophia there is another temple underground this time, which was also built by the Byzantines and to this day remains unknown. So that's what he claims. Please leave your comments and thank you for your support. Now, this structure is no longer a church. It's basically a museum that people visit. And it used to be with the minarets here, it used to be a Muslim temple of worship, but it then turned into a site for tourism. And it used to be, of course, a church from 600 when it was built to when the city of Istanbul fell and it was conquered in May 29, 1453. And this was probably what it looked like at that time. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.